Hello, everybody. My name is Troy Nelson from KEXP, bringing you another edition of Live on KEXP at Home, and I am very excited because I am sitting with Conor of Villagers. Conor, how you doing today?
I'm good. Nice to see you again.
Tonight. It's night where you are. I just said how you doing today. How you doing this evening?
It's currently 9:39 in Dublin, Ireland, and
wow.
Yeah,
it's 1:39 p.m. here. In the afternoon,
but that's why I'm drinking wine.
That's why you're having wine and I'm having coffee. Yeah, believe me, that'll flip flop in a few hours.
Okay, cool.
But Villagers, you've been doing this for quite some time now. I didn't even realize how long it's been. And when I was looking through YouTube, I found a Tiny Desk concert of yours, and I think you were like 9 years old or something. You look extremely young. I was like, wow.
I got asked for ID in bars until I was about 32. So
that's a good thing.
And that's only about 5 years ago. So yeah.
Well, we're loving this, your latest record, and you have a performance for all the KEXP listeners, an exclusive performance, and I was hoping we could just jump right into that and then chat a little bit later.
Great. Sounds good.
Awesome. Here you go. This is Villagers on Live on KEXP at Home.
So simpatico you are. Go on for me. like falling in love on the first day of the rest of your life. Like a riverboat as it takes you to the sea, it feels like floating on the essence of a dream. On the essence of a dream, it feels like falling in love on the first day of the rest of your life. favorite dream. It's enough to make me wanna scream, but instead I keep my head down for you as we whisper in the gravy train, which only ever goes one way, a United States of demagogic logic awaits. I'm doing circles in the firing line, and I'm only ever losing time. In fact, I'm late. I've got a date with doom. Another sunny afternoon. What the stimulants say is true. Eternal life forever hides inside of you. But we're doing circles in the firing line, so we'll get to that another time. For now we'll wait, perpetuate all anger and hate. I'm doing circles in the firing line, and I'm only ever losing time. In fact, I'm late. I've got a date with doom. I'm doing circles in the firing line, and it's more than just a state of mind. It's like a wave, a stubborn take on the truth. I am just a man tipping on a wire, a tightrope walking fool, balanced on desire. I cannot control these ever-changing ways, so how can I be sure the feeling will remain? It'll always change, but everything I am is yours. Yeah, everything I am is yours. I find it hard to say what's going on inside. I've got these little walls, couldn't break them if I tried, but I promise I'll be true, and I promise I'll be right. Sickness and in health, in the darkness and the light, I give you every side, 'cause everything I am is yours. everything I am is yours. I left my demons at the door. So what you opening it for? I guess they'll help you understand everything I am, everything I am. I left my demons at the door. So what you opening it for? I guess they'll help you understand everything I am, everything I am.
A wonderful performance for the KEXP listeners, for Live on KEXP at Home. Beautiful set there. Where did you record this?
We recorded that in North Dublin in a place called D-Light Studios, which is a beautiful, beautiful building, and we did it with a friend of mine called Bob Gallagher, who also directed some of the Villagers videos, such as Trick of the Light and Fool, and it was just such a blast to do it after this crazy crazy year and a half that we've had, and everybody was just there, just like, yes, we're doing something finally. So I think you might be able to feel the energy a little bit in the room. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. D-Light Studios, just like the word D-Light, or spelled like the band Groove is in the Heart, D-Light?
Oh, yeah. Actually, more like the band, I think. I think it's like a D-light, which is that perhaps the way the band
I think they are
spells?
DEE-LITE, maybe? I should know that. But
many variances.
I guess that could go 100 ways. I'm curious, the recording process of Fever Dreams, the latest album, it sounds like it was kind of perfectly timed in the way that you had something to work on, because your last day of recording that album was the first day of lockdown. So I'm assuming that you had all the files and you had at least something to work on during lockdown?
Yeah, like it was serendipity. It was so strange. Like literally the last day that we had booked, we were kind of covering our mouths, trying to like, are we meant to be wearing masks now? And like, it was all just super new and weird. And we kind of sneaked in that very final day of recording, and then just like ran home and hoping we hadn't caught the lurgy. And it was just, that was everything leading up to that was just trying to make music which was going to kind of rock the band, which I had toured with for the previous 3 years, and bringing all these half-finished songs to the guys and just like allowing them to enjoy the music, and them bringing their flavor to the music. And all of that was captured just before lockdown. And then I had all these like crazy juicy files like to work with, and it kept me sane, fully kept me sane. So, yeah.
Well, it's also interesting because you've said that there is an escapist nature to the songs on Fever Dreams, and I was just curious what you are hoping to help listeners escape from.
Well, I think it was definitely enhanced. The escapist theme was enhanced from lockdown onwards. So there was definitely a few things written from my apartment and from that sort of post-COVID world. But before that, it was all there. The theme was already kind of laid out, and it was very much a kind of I was using literature and art to escape this weird, like, early internet age that we're all living in, and this kind of, I'm feeling this kind of level of kind of slightly binary thought happening, and 280 characters being like the king of everything, and the way language is being slightly denigrated. And I started sort of returning to literature and art and books and music that was written before the internet existed, and I found that was kind of good for my brain. So I think for me that was kind of like a psychological escape more than anything, and maybe a spiritual escape as well,
I'm also curious what the symbolism of the number 7 means to you. It seems to appear throughout the album. What's the significance of that?
Yeah. It just kept appearing in my life. I was getting kind of into Carl Jung, which was Sigmund Freud's friend, and then, well, perhaps kind of enemy as well. And he always talked about synchronicities, and how if things appeared more than once in your life, or I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but if they appear more, you should probably pay attention to these things. And I was kind of interested in that. And the number 7 just kept appearing, and I started reading about it in various world religions, and, in the moon cycle, and how 7 days a week was kind of something that the Babylonians decided on. And we were swimming in a Dutch island after one of the Villagers shows, after seeing Hot Chip playing, and we were all just like swimming in the sea, and we looked up and saw Ursa Major in the sky, and we saw the asterism of the main 7 stars, and I kind of thought that I had solved everything in the universe at that moment, because I was in the middle of writing a song in 7/8, and just 7 just kept appearing. And it's kind of all throughout the album. It's on one of the last songs, which talks about heptagons. It talks about the 7 major tectonic plates, and it talks about lots of different things.
Wait a second. That sounds like the most magical night in the history of nights. Swimming, you're on an island, and you just saw Hot Chip. You just saw Hot Chip, and you're looking at the stars.
It was pretty cool, yeah. It was just one of those magic nights. And yeah, we just played a festival, and I was really inspired, and all the colors were super vibrant, and the universe was exposing itself. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's been really cool and interesting to see the evolution of your music throughout all of these years. And in some interviews, you've talked about intending to simplify your songwriting. And can you elaborate what simplify means to you when you mention it in that context?
Yeah, I think it's kind of trying to get out of my head and trying to get into my heart and my soul, and trying to be less cerebral and be more kind of based on, your belly and your center and your soul. And I think that's kind of, I think when you're making art and when you're making music, you have to have some sort of tension. And for me, the tension in the last few years in my creative world has been trying to simplify and trying to make something that is more authentic, maybe, or is coming from a place which isn't trying to impress, maybe on an academic level, or isn't trying to do all these things which you might be schooled into thinking you need to do in your earlier years. And I think my music is starting to perhaps reflect that in some way. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of also interviews that you've done, I've heard you voice reservations against the current internet age, and it might be changing the way that we're thinking. And obviously we can see that. We can see how it helps a lot of things and how it's terrible for a lot of things. How do you feel about that? I mean, when it comes to like getting music out there, it seems to be a good tool, right? But then where's the negative come in?
Yeah, it's complicated. I mean, I think like everything, it's complicated. And I think that's important to remember. And I think one of the main problems with it is that it sort of tries to make things not complicated. Nuance and the messiness of life, and how we've all got kind of loads of complication within us, and good and evil and everything is it's kind of lost on the screens. And we've all lived through a global pandemic in the last 2 years, and we've all been living on our screens quite a lot. And I think that might create a new sort of tribalism in in various different ways. And again, I feel like music and art, they have a part to play in that. This is probably history repeating itself. There's probably other aspects of other types of internets in the past, and
that's interesting.
Well, it is interesting. I haven't fully, formed that.
I mean, I've went down that path where I'm like, what if there was a civilization, like let's say 2 million years ago, that got to the point where they had technology and an internet, and then got completely wiped out, and because we think we're the first, or
well, maybe it's the Romans.
Exactly.
The Romans.
Exactly. I've thought about that before, and yeah. I mean, it's just I've never heard anyone put it that way before. You said it's like trying not to be complicated, but it's complicated. It's almost like a relationship. When you first get in it, you're like, you want everything to be great, and there's love, and there's the honeymoon period, and then like years later, you're like, wait, we're breaking up? What happened? Because there's so much complication to it, but it's supposed to be, easy, or it seems like it's going to be.
Yeah, we're breaking up with the internet right now. Maybe that's what's happening.
Interesting.
We're having a long, difficult breakup.
We're having the talk.
Or maybe just we're on the next stage.
Exactly. We're sitting it down and we're having that discussion.
Yeah, we're starting to know ourselves better, and it's painful, but it has to happen.
I love that. And so you told me, how many shows have you played in the last 6 days, 7 days?
We got back from Manchester this morning, and we did a in-store show twice a day for the last 5 days. So we did 10 shows in the last 6 days in the UK, which is really interesting because in Ireland right now we're still not allowed to gig, to put shows on. So it's a very strange thing to go to the next island over and do lots of shows in front of people, and there's just a different thing going on, and so it's a little disheartening coming back. But hopefully, yeah, fingers crossed, everything's gonna get better soon.
I hear you. No, I definitely hear you. And is playing live like one of the most important aspects of everything to you? Is it like some artists are like, I'd rather be in the studio, and some artists are like, playing live is why I do this. Is it, or are they about even for you?
Right now it is. Like I felt like I was hallucinating this last week, especially after the year and a half that we had. It was mind blowing. It was just meeting people, exploring music with the piano player Kevin, who came with me, and we were just, every show was like the song was developing, and we were listening for cues in the audience and feeling things, and there was just that energy which I've missed so much. You just can't get it from. You really can't get it from streams and stuff. It's just it needs to happen again. Yeah, something deep happens in a live experience. So yeah, it's
great. Well, once again, we've been loving the new record here, and we have such a long history with you as well. So I appreciate that our paths just keep going like this throughout all the years, and let's definitely stay in touch.
Thanks so much, Troy. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks again for taking the time to record that exclusive, fantastic performance for the KEXP community around the world. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. We really appreciate it too. Cheers.
Absolutely. Very nice talking to you. That is Villagers, live on KEXP at home.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.